very far left in the Democratic Party, my party, telling us that in
Paid opposition right here. Absolutely paid opposition.
order for us to be progressives, we now have to believe ideas and support ideas that are completely nuts.
You got a set of defunding, decriminalizing, open borders. We have run that play and gotten our butts kicked. We don't need to do it a second time to see if it turns out, if the movie turns out any different.
Prominent Democrat voices pushing back on the growing influence of the Democratic Socialist candidates they say are ultimately going to hurt the Democrat Party. So let's talk about it with the national co-chair of the Democratic Socialists of America, Megan Romer. Megan, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Shannon.
Okay, so
Why are we on Fox
there's this
right
growing
now?
conversation about whether you can exist within the party, whether you want to upend it for your own purposes, a totally different platform. The Daily Economy quotes you saying this at a DSA convention last year. We will win by making conditions so intolerable for the ruling class that they would rather give in to our demands than continue to live with the disturbance we cause until we are able to fully seize power ourselves. Is that aimed at the Democrat Party?
Yes. It should be. Sorry, I misread this. I misread what this was going to be about. Oh my God. And they do two things. I misread this. Actually, I might disagree with this DSA chair.
It's aimed from the working class to the ruling class. So the two-party duopoly, the two corporate parties, it is aimed at both of them, and it comes from the working class.
So should Van Jones and Rahm Emanuel and James Carville and all of the establishment Democrats be worried about DSA plans from within their tent?
Absolutely. Yeah. They should have fucking bend the knee to the DSA. I'm sorry, but you guys fucking threw it all away for the last 20 years.
The establishment Democrats should be worried about the voters and about what the voters think and about what the constituency thinks. And right now they have not been delivering, and our candidates are and have been, and it's resonating with voters.
So Jamie Harrison, who was the DNC chair, after you guys had such a big night in New York City and knocking off some of those incumbents and having success with your candidates in the congressional primaries, he said, if you hate the Democratic Party, then don't run for our nomination. Don't use our resources. Don't rely on our volunteers.
No, that's dumb. This is dumb.
Don't use our infrastructure. Focus on building the party you actually support.
No, I'm sorry. That's dumb. I'm sorry. That's not how this works.
Other Democrats out there saying this is a separate party, the DSA. You don't belong within the party. How do you respond to his statements there?
The correct path here is infiltrate the Democrat Party and take it over. That is the only path that you can take.
Yeah, I mean, the two parties have, over years and decades, created a system where ballot line access is extremely difficult for third parties. I also have been told a lot of times by Democrats, don't vote third party, it's wasting your vote.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It is. As a Democrat socialist, well, as a libertarian socialist, voting for a third party absolutely is a waste of your vote. And we know this.
So we run on the Democratic ballot line where
it
makes sense. We run independents sometimes where that is a viable possibility, but it's a ballot line. And what matters is what the voters think. And the voters are overwhelmingly choosing our candidates.
They certainly did in New York and in other places, Colorado and others. It's not just a big city phenomenon or just a blue coastal phenomenon. Sure. Okay, so we're going to put up on the screen a few of the things that are part of your platform. And I want to ask you, just give me sort of a true or false on these.
This doesn't really fit with what we were talking about, but I think I might keep these these two in the same segment. Are you guys okay with that? Because I'm too lazy to make two separate segments out of this.
Abolish the Senate.
True.
Okay.
Prosecute. Okay. Yep. Wow, they're so upset about this.
Sort of a true or false.
Eliminate the U.S. Senate.
On these.
False. Replace the president with the Supreme Court, with the executive and judiciary chosen by a subordinate to Congress. Yeah, that makes sense.
True.
Prosecute the U.S. and Israeli leaders responsible for the genocide in Gaza.
Okay. Replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
Yes. That is a whoa.
Okay, so we're going to put up on the screen a few of the things that are part of your platform, and I want to ask.
I don't think she has access to
you
these.
Just give me sort of a true or false on these. Abolish the Senate.
I don't know if I agree with that.
True.
Okay, replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
True.
Yep.
Demilitarize police departments, disempower police departments.
Abolish ICE.
True.
Absolutely.
Abolish
Woke.
borders and give amnesty to anyone currently in the U.S. illegally.
As a long-term plan, yep.
Perfect response from her. Unfortunately, she is being made to look terrible here.
Defund the Pentagon.
Yep. 100% on.
Absolutely.
Abolish prison,
GoodRx makes hormones relatively affordable for the expense sort of as the doctor visit. True.
at least in large part.
Yeah, again, that as part of a long-term program, yeah.
This is when she means long-term program here, she means like past her lifetime, probably.
Okay, so no prisons. Government or public ownership of most large corporations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so then let's go back through some of those then. Abolish the Senate. There are people who are in the Senate now who are very supportive of DSA. They lose their seats?
Well, the Senate is an anachronistic institution. It comes from the British House of Lords. It is made to protect power for, the Senate was part of the system that was made to make sure that the people didn't have too much of a say. So we want to expand Congress significantly, but make it a unicameral legislature.
Okay. And
Beautiful response, Dr. or Chef's Kiss. I actually do agree with
without
that.
the presidency and Supreme Court. So abolish ICE. Would there be any enforcement of immigration laws, or with abolishing the border, we're not enforcing immigration laws, they go away?
Yeah, so again, this is part of this longer term plan, and part of it
But if you can get there.
That is so disingenuous. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get to the place where the U.S. is not destabilizing countries in order to mine them for resources, there will be significantly less migration.
What do you say to
if
those,
we are
though,
not...
that would potentially destabilize the U.S.? Because there's only so much the economy can bear, and when you have a flood of people coming in...
Okay. Her answer. Okay, once we stop ruining these countries and they can be better, migration goes down, which I want people to just be able to live wherever. Migration goes down. Okay, but what about the flood of people? If you made the border non-existent right now, what about the flood of people coming in?
It might not work out economically, according to a lot of analyses, if you just open up the borders and there's no enforcement at all.
Well, we're not saying open the borders tomorrow. We're saying rebuild an economy and a society that works for everyone. And the open borders is part of a longer-term international plan that involves us
Which extends absolutely past her lifetime.
stopping destabilizing countries. Most people who are coming to this country are coming as economic refugees, and we destabilized their country. We did that.
Well, a lot of, if you look at data, the Center for Immigration Studies says right now the households here in the U.S. that are headed up by people who are here illegally, nearly 61% of them are on some type of government or welfare program here in
Goated.
the U.S. Can we afford to do that? I mean, at some point you run out of resources.
Why are we paying the Pentagon so much?
Well, right now we make it very difficult for people to participate in society.
Actually, I'm liking her response. Do not validate her response with the actual response.
In such a way that they can avoid using services. So we want people to be able to work and live and go to school and actually participate, which means contributing to society and also getting what they need.
If you pitched this to any Republican on the street, they would be 100% in support of this. Democrats gave this up.
From society. It's a collective choice we can all make.
So if we talk about abolishing prisons then, does that make society better? I mean, is there anybody that should be incarcerated? I mean, rapist, child predator?
Disingenuous question.
Murderers.
Number 8 trillion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the long-term plan, when we think about most people who are in prison, they are mostly in prison for crimes of poverty.
Yeah, dude.
So when
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the really,
I hear
murderers
you.
and
So
rapists of the
when
world.
so when we get rid of this need for crimes of poverty to exist, when we get rid of that destabilizing force that creates so many people who are living in desperate situations and doing desperate things, that brings those numbers down to very small numbers, and then we can collectively decide what we do with those people. I suspect it won't look like the prison system as we know it today.
Okay, but
We don't want the prison system as we know it today. Private prisons absolutely should be
I
illegal.
do think some people need to be locked away from society.
Some people are not able to be functional members of society. That's true. But what does that look like to keep the rest of us safe? You know, we're talking about safety. We're not talking about punishment. We're talking about making sure that we're safe, everybody's safe, everybody maintains their dignity, and everybody maintains their humanity.
Okay, so much more to discuss. I hope that you will come back, especially as we figure out what the party does with respect to you, meaning the Democrat Party, in your role in it, and in 2028 especially. Megan Brummer, thank you.
I don't know if she should go back, dude.
I'd do anything.
Because, like, this was a really good response from her to some really stupid questions being asked.
Socialists doubling down.
Trump set to hold a rally. And thank you very much. You know what? Shannon Bream put the woman that we just saw in that report. She just gave her a list. Okay, yes or no? Are you for this stuff? You against it? Watch this, and then try to keep your jaw up here.
Let's see how they do this.
So we're going to put up on the screen a few of the things that are part of your platform, and I want to ask you, just give me sort of a true.
And we just watched this without any cuts. I want to see where they cut it.
Abolish the Senate.
True.
Okay, replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
Yep.
Abolish ICE.
Absolutely.
Abolish borders and give amnesty to anyone currently in the U.S. illegally.
As a long-term plan, yep.
I know what they're going to do. They're not going to let her get to the explanation part.
Absolutely.
Abolish prisons, at least in large part.
Yeah, again, that as part of a long-term program, yeah.
Okay, so no prisons. Government or public ownership of most large corporations.
Unfortunately, she wasn't. Oh, man, she should have. Like, this is not her fault, but, like, if you could respond to these with, like, yes, and here's why.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what can you add to other than that?
So what is that called? Like chaos? Not having a...
Zero explanation shown. All of her explanations were shown. She just got clip farmed. She got clip farmed. Oh my God. They are running...
Shannon Bream ran...
running around with her non-fucking stop, dude. Create multi-party system, W. Open the border, W. Abolish prisons, W. Abolish ICE, W. Abolish the Senate, W.
Is if you look at, because you talk about Obamacare, well,
oh my God. They're even doing it on the Hill? Fuck you, Fetterman. I hate Fetterman so fucking much. They all, oh my God, they all lack the imagination to see a world better than it is now. Fuck, man.